Um, Andre Blake, Superman, Spider-Man, Cat in the Goal, the savior between the sticks. We're gonna discuss Andre Blake, and I think I'm a little bit concerned about what I am seeing happening at this present moment. So welcome back, people, to MG Sports TV. Thank you very much again for tuning in. Really appreciate the support every time, all the time, people. But we have to discuss Andre Blake performances that we've seen over the few camps in recent times, and what exactly is it that concerns me and why I think it's a big concern. Now, for those who don't know, for the last four games I'll play, I think out of one game the Andre Blake kind of went unfazed. I think that's more so the Cuba game. Yes, the Cuba game. But we saw it as well. We saw it as well in other games. But I'm gonna touch on that. Before we go into that, let's do the YouTube stuff. You know, they hit the like button, the subscribe button, the turn on notification. Now them something there. Those YouTube stuff which actually help the channel to grow. Now, let me make this clear. What I'm going to say, I know a lot might not agree, but sometimes you can listen to understand the perspective that I'm coming from. You don't have to agree, just try and understand. If you don't agree, go into the comment section. The comment section is quite open for you to go in the comment section and tell us your thoughts on the situation. And whilst you're doing that, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the like button. So I want you to listen to this, right? We have faced quite a lot of shots in the last couple of games that we've played, last two windows. Bar the Cuba game, because the Cuba game was more so dominant by us. We just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. And when a team is facing that amount of shots, quite that significant amount of shots, what you find out is that one, defender is doing a lot of work, and two, the goalkeeper is doing a lot of work. Now we have to understand, why is it now, or why is that the team is facing that much shot? Now, for those who don't know, the dynamics of the Reggae Boyz team is slightly changing. Under Aldrimson, we're very defensively rigid. I mean, really rigid defensively. So rigid that it takes away a lot from our attack. So at some point we're complaining that we're sitting back too deep. By the time we break away, Antonio alone up top with 3-4 defenders, or sometimes Antonio did the right back a defend, left back a defend. We have no outball because of how we play. Now, under Steve McLaren, the attribute or the characteristics of Steve McLaren's team looks to be more attacking minded. Now, the problem that we're having here is the middle of the park. Now, Latibodier, workaholic. The problem is he's not a natural central defensive midfielder who stands in that specific pocket. And how this becomes a problem. So, in football, you have lines. You have lines on the pitch. For those who don't know, you have lines on the pitch. One of the most important things, what the coaches emphasize on, is equal spacing between each line. You have the defense line, and them give them numbers. Line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4. You have the defense line, you have the midfield line, you have the attacking line. You can go into a low block line. You have multiple lines. And they name it based off numbers. Each coach name it separate. So, for example, so what if the coach said, I'm a coach, I play in a low block. Not low block, in a mid block. Mid block would be my defense line is in between the 18-yard box and the center circle, the circle itself. My defense line is right there. So that would quote unquote consider a mid block. A low block would quote unquote would be the defense line just above or on top of the 18-yard box. That's actually a really low line. Because what's going to happen is that the more, if your defense line starts there, the moment you're out of position, they tend to go a little bit further back, which are going to carry them a little bit inside of the 18-yard box sometimes. But, so if the defense line is actually in the middle of the field, and a coach said that is line 1, so going to mid block. And if your defense line, if they decide to put it at the edge of the 18-yard box, then call it line 2. And they say, you are going to tell the team, say, line 2, and them drop off. Or so whatever. No, the attacking team can identify quickly, very, very quickly, the lines that the team is playing. For Jamaica at this present moment, we are playing a high line. Our high line is basically at the center circle. That's where our line is right now. We come out of our mid block. We come out of the low block. So move from low block to a high line. We move from a low block to a high line. What that does, that pushes the opponent team backward. But not only that, it makes more space open in behind us, and it also makes more space open on the pitch. So when you are playing good teams, really good teams, what's going to happen is that they will have the opportunity to make the pass or progress the ball far easier and get opportunities to play in between the lines. So, I wish me have a board, me have a tactical board, I kind of show you what I talk about. Now, with McLaren, because McLaren is playing such a high line, and as I said, we don't have a natural CDM in the middle of the park. Where you find out is that about there, fixed and holding fire here, over there, here. So there's no one standing in the middle of the park. So most of the teams would have identified that. Let me give an example. When you play against Nicaragua, notice where most of the shots were coming from. They take a lot of shots from way out the box. Most of those shots were coming from in the middle of the pitch. Just recall, just think back about it. When we getting all those shots from the middle of the pitch, that is because we kind of change up the dynamics of the team. That's the reason why now we are conceding so much shot. And with us conceding so much shot, it means that Andre Blake has to be doing more work. So the reason I emphasize or spoke about the middle of the park is I identified that that's a huge problem right there. And that's causing us some problem. We're unable to progress the ball centrally, and also we're unable to control the game centrally, specifically in front of the defenders, because of the multiple movements, and we don't have nobody to really stand up in the area there. Now, secondly, I did say, I don't know if you realize, when Josh and Anglin came in, that's the specific instruction that he got, because he did not move from that spot when Anglin came on. I don't know if you see it, but rewatch it time. Now, back to Andre Blake. Because Andre Blake is doing so much work, I believe that I'm a bit worried now that we must fix this midfield to ease some of the pressure off Andre Blake. It's not necessarily our defense. Our defense is not necessarily a problem. We have some good defenders who can defend. But the team does not defend as a unit. And that's where our problem is. Yes, I understand that Latibody is doing a lot of work, my pick ball is whatever. But the problem is when the team we get caught in transition, we are left wide open, and the defenders have to depend on a 1v1 ability. Try and remember in game versus Honduras how many times Ethan Pinnock was isolated 1v1 with Honduran striker, the big brother there. Quite often, in which I wasn't really comfortable with that. And then now some of the ball might hit over a top, I try to just isolate Ethan Pinnock with the striker 1v1. But in all aspects, for Andre Blake work to lessen, we must fix the middle of the park and have the team defending as a unit. Now, we have to give something, right? Move from a defensive unit to a more attacking minor unit. Something have to give. So we're going to concede more shots. But I think at this present moment, we're conceding too much. No, I like what I see so far from McLaren. It's going to take a little while to adapt and adjust. But I do believe that in the inclusion of more technical players or specialists, for example, like a natural CDM, a specific a special CDM, a specialist in CDM. We need that. We need that because we have to lessen the work from off the back of Andre Blake. He's doing too much work. And when you have a goalkeeper doing so much work, it means that something is not going right on the field of play. So I am concerned with the amount of work Andre Blake is doing, and I'm also concerned with how the midfield is set up. Now, I understand the reason for that, and I let me quote and let me just come and say it. It's because of the changes that Steve McLaren is making to make the team play more attacking, which I believe nothing at all is wrong with that. The only issue is we have to find these specialists very fast. Specialist number 8, specialist number 6. We need them very, very fast, or else we might be in some trouble. Especially now, we're going to play against USA. You know that go. If we don't have a midfield pack, we might be in some problem. Anyways, I won't go any further. I'm a little bit concerned where all the shots that come from. With Andre Blake consistently turning up and being man of the match. It's not a good look. That means we have work to do on the field of play. Anyways, tell us what you think in the comment section. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys again. Until next time. If I chat foolishes, just let me know. I have no problem at all in readjusting that. I'll see you guys again. MG Sports TV. We're out. God bless. Boom. Know what I mean?